Greetings, Saints, and thank you so much for tuning into the Barbara Dean Franklin Show, Real Talk, Real People. I am your host, Barbara Dean Franklin, and today I have the awesome pleasure of sitting with my girlfriend, Cindy Garcia. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule sitting with me today. Cindy and I are going to talk about the immigration laws and the way and the effects that it has on people, especially the way it's affecting your life right now.
Yes.
People you love and people that you know. Before we get started talking about the immigration laws reform and the things that need to be done, how we need to support one another. Cindy, I just want you to talk a little bit about you, your status, how long you've been here, kind of what you do every other, all the other times when you're not fighting just for immigration. Just tell us a little bit about your family, just a little bit about your history.
My name is Cindy Garcia. I work for Ford Motor Company. I am a UAW member of Local 600. I am also a volunteer for Michigan United, which fights for immigration rights, for housing issues also. I'm also with the NAACP, and I'm also with Latin American Adjustment. I'm a mother of 3, and my husband's name is Jorge, and we're trying to fix his status. He is here illegally. He came here at the age of 10. His parents brought him here. He lived in Chicago. He actually went to school, elementary, middle, and high school. He graduated, came here to Michigan and looked for employment. At that time, later on, we met. We have a daughter, Soleil, who's 10, George Jr., who is 8 years old, and my son, who's 19 at the present time. We tried to fix his status back in 2002. We didn't hear anything till 2004. Then in 2008 is when they tried to deport him. At that time, we have been fighting to keep him here within the United States, and successfully, with all the help I've been getting, he is still here.
Thank God. We thank God for that. Now, you touched on something because, I'm a kind of touch it, feel it, see it, smell it kind of girl. So I just wanted to know, like it says here, if you are a United States citizen, and you are a United States citizen, and if you wanted to come here to become a legal immigrant, that if you have a relative, a parent, a spouse, or a minor child that is a United States citizen, that it would be easy. This is one of the easiest ways to become an American. What happened?
Back in 2002, the laws have changed. As of April, they had changed the laws saying that anybody who entered the country illegally after that date and applied for any type of status change would have to go back to their country where they were born. But none of us took effect in knowing those laws had changed.
So the laws changed, but it wasn't like they sent out a blurb or a brochure to everybody to say, hey, the laws are getting ready to change. There's some things that you may need to do. That didn't happen.
No, that did not happen at that present time.
Okay. So now with your husband, this is affecting your husband, this is affecting many people. We were introduced through Busy Lizzie, Elizabeth. I saw her on the news raffling off her home, trying to make all types of provisions so she could get to her husband because they deported him.
Yes.
So she's in Germany and they're reconnected now. But you don't want to uproot your family because you are a citizen here. Your life is here. Your husband's life is here. It's been here. It's been dedicated, working, a productive citizen in these United States of America. And now it's just unfortunate. So I remember you were asking people to sign the reform bill or write your senators.
Yes.
So I just received a letter on, says July the 18th. I got it yesterday, day before yesterday, from Senator Debbie Stabenow, that's saying that, thanks for contacting me in support of the immigration reform bill that passed the Senate. But then something happened. What happened with that reform bill?
They're trying to make more amendments to it, to where they want to control more of the border, put more security on the border. And like we told them, there's enough security on the borders. There's enough. Focus on other things now.
Right. And this is something that I asked you as we sat here because when you talk about immigration reform and immigration and just the undocumented immigrants or whatever, it seems to me like I was getting my nails done just yesterday, and I'm thinking, because I know we're going to do this show, I'm like, okay, could they be immigrants to, you know, you think about people from Haiti, from just all over the place, but it seems like it's always focused on the Hispanics. Do you feel that that is a true statement?
Yes, there is more towards the Hispanic community, and it does affect 11 million other people out there that are undocumented, that come from Romania,
Right.
from Africa, Japan. It's just there's not a lot being told of them
Okay.
and their situations, because we are also have an alliance with the I can't think of the actual name of the group that's out there, but they have connected with Michigan United, and they have told us their stories too, and it's frightful that we all share the same stories.
Right, and we all are fighting for something. You know, even the people that are here in America, we, you know, as people of color, you know, we share that. You know, that we all are in this fight together. So we definitely all need to better understand the laws. I mean, we see the things that are happening in the world, so we definitely need to better understand the laws. And the only thing that we have is our voice and our vote.
Right.
Okay, well, we saw what happened on yesterday with our vote in the city of Detroit. We need to do better. We need to know more, you know, so we need to get out and help each other, because that's what's going to take people working together collectively, you know, one voice, but a collective voice, you know, because that's the only way that we make change is if we all stick together. So as I was looking at the Dream Is Now last night, I looked at that. They were talking about the illegal immigrants that are here, that I'm looking at a young lady that's going to school to be a doctor, that's trying to find working with, she wants to start a nonprofit for women who suffer from cancer, who are not able to afford the medical treatment. I mean, just like what a blessing that would be. I have so many friends that are affected by cancer, so many people that are leaving here that, you know, they haven't found a cure for yet, that did not get the medical treatment that they wanted. What a blessing that would be. The young man, Alejandro, who wants to be U.S. Marine, you know, he's healthy. He went to, you know, military school. He's been doing this, practicing, wanting this more than anything all of his life, and he's not able to go because he does not have a Social Security card. So what is it that, you know, keeps us from changing the laws? You've been in this struggle for a minute. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What do you think?
From what I'm seeing, even on Facebook, it's that for every phone call we make for immigration reform, you have 10 people that are against it.
Okay.
And we need more people to call in to say, we need this. We need immigration reform. We need immigration reform. We need immigration reform. And like we tell them, the undocumented are already here. They're already contributing to our economic value that we're trying to stimulate the U.S.
Right.
Keep it going.
Right.
Give them the status that they need in order for them to have a job where they can get paid a minimum wage, because some of them are not even getting paid minimum wage.
And if they're the undocumented and they're already here, they're contributing to our economic development, the GDP and all of these other things. If they were documented, if they become documented, then they start paying taxes, they start contributing, and we can see a rise in the economics and jobs, maybe, you know, putting people like the engineer who had to work construction because he's not able to work in his field,
right.
You know, so we have people, the young lady, although she's, you know, I thank God that she is still in the University of Michigan and still going to school, being a productive part of society, but there's a chance she may be deported.
Yes.
You know, and so as I was reading in my little chart here where it says that, you know, if you're here and you have a skilled trade and you get a job offer, then it's easy for you. But if you don't have a job offer, even though you have that skilled trade, then you still may be deported.
Yes, that's the fear that a lot of people live in because they don't have a driver's license. That they can be stopped at any given point, and then they can call ICE, and ICE can come and pick them up.
Okay, so let's talk about for every one person that's calling in and saying, hey, we need to have reform, for the 10 people that are calling, what is their fear? Is there fear that people are coming in and they're doing illegal things, or things are, you know, is there a way that, I mean, you know, we have the undocumented here, so, I mean, you know, you sit down and you see that you're doing a productive being productive in society, and then we could go through this checklist and say, okay, well, you passed this test, and for the ones that are not good, well, then you need to go back. Is there a process like that?
There is no process at the given point. What they're doing is they're trying to deport everybody who has a criminal record that is here undocumented, which if you committed a crime, that's fine. Take them back. But for the people that are here, that are paying taxes, that are trying to do better within society, leave those people here. They have a family. Leave them here. Their kids are being affected more than anybody, even mine. So it's very hard to try to tell your child at 5 years old, 8 years old, your daddy's not coming home, your mommy's not coming home. It's very hard on them.
Right. I looked at the show, and they were talking about the DREAM Act, how people that are going to school, that are, doing different things, I guess they have this dream, they want to be a part of the United States of America, so they're fighting hard, and they lost it like about 5 votes, because if they had passed the DREAM Act, I guess people, the undocumented immigrants that are in school or, going to college and doing just different things, they would have been able to stay here, but 5 votes short, and so the DREAM Act is, I guess, back on the burner, but I know that people are still fighting, that they won't give up, that eventually, people will come together and realize that this is best, I think, for everybody, Again, we're all fighting for something, and we all need to, reach out and lock arms with each other. So you said on August the 24th, there's a march.
In Washington, D.C., they were all going to be going to, it's pretty much fighting all together for civil rights, is what it is, because we're all humans, and we all have to realize we have human rights.
Exactly.
It's one issue, and it boils down to civil rights.
That's exactly what it is. Now, is this sponsored by UAW?
Yes, because they're getting buses from every local to go out, from every region to go out.
And the ride is free?
Yes. The ride is free.
And you go, and so is this an overnight trip, or you're driving to Washington and coming back? Or
it's an overnight trip.
Okay, it's an overnight trip. We'll post more information on the Barbara Dean Franklin Show page about the march, but it is a civil rights issue. It's just not, your issue or my issue. We all, have that civil right. We all, again, need to come together. Now, when as I was looking, just trying to research a little bit of information about illegal immigrants, they talk about undocumented, and then they talked about mixed. When you talk about mixed, in my race, I'm thinking, African American mixed with another. If it's Hispanic or if it's Caucasian, we talk about because you have a mixed child or whatever. So what does mixed mean? Undocumented, or I think it said that it meant for mixed, it was someone that was undocumented and someone that's documented. Have you heard that term?
I have not heard of that term, but I know that we're trying to get people to avoid to use the word illegal alien and to use undocumented, because they're here undocumented. And like we said, illegal alien is just doesn't sound right, and why put a status quo on somebody when it's not, it should not be put there.
Yeah, because when you say alien, I think of E.T. anyway. So,
Right.
So, definitely they should change that. And it's the same thing with, domestic violence. They used to call them victims, now survivors. So, it is a being politically correct,
Right.
So when you talk about the immigrants and coming over here, the purpose for coming to the United States of America is for a better life. It's this grand, if you can get to America, if you could just get over to the United States of America, then we can be free, we can work, we can be productive, and and now you're having the hardest time. When did things get this way? I mean, was it easier before and now it's getting hard, or what?
It was easier earlier on. Like I said, when the laws changed, they tightened the borders. 9/11 happened.
Right.
That really tightened the borders. So all of that took an effect of what's happening now. And because no one paid attention to what they were doing, they were passing all these laws and nobody was really protesting or saying nothing about it.
Right.
But now, because it's all come out to the forefront, everybody's saying, hey, this isn't right.
Right.
We need to fight for justice.
And we do. I mean, we look at TV every day, and there are a lot of things that we are really needing to fight for. I don't know what's going on in the world, but we definitely need to fight for justice. We need to fight hard. We need to put on our gym shoes and just, I'm talking about beat some people up. And I'm not talking physically fighting. I'm not talking about a physical fight, but I'm talking about a coming together of a spirit, all of us standing together, united. They should see multicolor, multi-races, everybody there, because it is our civil rights that's being affected. Our children are being killed. People are being sent back when they are productive citizens, making a difference. There are 11 million, they say, undocumented. 2.1 of them are children or youth. And, we need to do something better, because some of the young folk that are going to school, that are getting an education, that's our next doctor. That's our next lawyer. That's that next person who is finding the cure for, some incurable disease. Right. When I looked at the documentary last night, there was one young man, I can't remember his name, and he wanted to be, I believe it was an engineer. He had designed his mother's house and everything, and he was going to school, and I think someone told him that he really just couldn't make it, and he committed suicide. And then 2 days later, he received his entry to the college. So people are giving up or losing hope. What do you say to somebody, Cindy, who is out there fighting this fight? What do you say? How do you keep them hopeful with situations like this?
I actually have a young lady who I have met, and it was on February 14th of this year, to where she had applied for her husband. Okay. And she's an American citizen. She went through the system years ago, and she thought she was doing everything possibly right. Her husband went down to Juarez. When he got to the interview, they told him, sorry, you are banned from the United States for life. Because in 2002, when he tried to enter, they caught him. And he said, okay, well, I understand I got caught. I'm going back. Okay. Well, at that point, I don't know if he misunderstood, but they asked him if he was an American citizen, and he said yes. Oh, okay. And that's where they got him, because that's breaking the law. If you're not an American citizen, you cannot say that. Right. So because they checked that off when he went for his interview, they told him he is banned for life. Now, in order for me to try to keep her going, it's very hard because her husband cannot come back. Right. I have talked to different people, and they just said, there's no way. The only hope that I try to give her is maybe one day something will come about, but hang in there. Right. Hang in there. That's a decision that you have to make for you and your family. So I can't make it for you. I can only make decisions for my family. And it's rough to try to tell somebody, keep fighting, knowing that they may have a lost cause. I tell them, if I can stand up for me and my family and 11 million other people, I need you to stand behind me no matter what, because it takes.
We see each and every day, and I'm not trying to give false hope where, there is none, because I know that everything can change. But did he say yes, or did they make a mistake and check that?
That's what we don't know.
Okay.
That's what was not said. Like I said, he doesn't probably understand English that well, so whenever he was asked a question, he probably got confused, nervous, because when you're confronted by ICE, of course, like being confronted with the police, people are going to panic. Right. So he probably didn't know what he was saying, so they caught him in a catch-22 there.
Then there are a lot of people who have entered the United States legally, but they've stayed too long.
Yes.
Then they become undocumented as well. So if they've entered the United States legally, can you, I don't know, green card visas or whatever you have, are the chances, if you have it and you were legally entered, can you go back and say, okay, I need to redo my application, re-up? Is that the way it should happen?
Yes, it's easier for them because they've already entered legally. Okay. There's still paperwork they have to do, but it's an easier step for them than it is for someone who just came here illegally.
So, I know you're hopeful. You're writing the sentence, you're going to the marches, you're doing everything, just your gut. as you listen to the president, when he talks about the reform, what needs to happen at the border and different things, are you hopeful that a change is coming?
I'm hopeful because there's 11 million people. That 11 million people, if they were to become documented, can sway the vote one way or the other.
Okay.
And that's what I think the Republicans need to realize. That's 11 million people that can get a chance to vote, that can add economic value to the United States, but they need to sit down and realize that.
Right. And when we look at the vote in the House and in Congress, and are the Republicans the one that it's holding that vote up? Is that what this is about?
They're more holding it back because they're saying yes and no, and some are for it, some are against it, but they need to sit down and realize that's 11 million people that can contribute more to the economy. They can contribute to your vote.
Right.
And that's what they need to realize.
Right. And so these 11 million people that are out here that, again, I'm looking, you don't know if they're Democrat, Republican, bipartisan, you don't know what it is. And so there are things that possibly could get pushed through if you allow these people to become effective citizens of these great United States of America. We're all for one and one for all. And then we should be trying to help people, all people, have a better life, So I'm praying that, as August the 24th coming, you guys go and you march on Washington, that the synergy that is there, that everybody is united, one for all and all for one, because we are all fighting. Your fight is really my fight. It may be somewhat different, but I'm fighting as well. I'm definitely going to always stand and fight with you. If there's anything I could do, I'll put this information on the Barbara Dean Franklin Show page, and we'll do whatever we can to make sure when you put up and say, hey, write your Senate, call your senator, and tell them to vote for the Immigration Reform Act or whatever it is that you need, I definitely will have your back. I'll stand behind you, and be a voice with you, one to reckon with, because you are doing a great and an awesome job fighting for your people, fighting for the people that you love, and being a voice for someone who may not have the courage to stand.
Thank you. It's greatly appreciated. Yes, there is people out there who have come to me and said, we really appreciate what you do, because you don't have to do that. You can just say, you're here to fight for the Garcias. You're not here to fight for the 11 million that are out here. You don't have to say that, but you're willing to step forward, to take that extra step and stand up and be our voice. But we can't do it because we're scared. And I said, that's what I want you to understand, that eventually you got to stop being scared. You got to come out from out of the shadows, stand behind me, and when you're asked a question through the media, do not run. Stand there and tell your story, because every story counts.
Exactly. As I sit here and I look at you and I smile, because I don't know if you are, do you know Mona Copeland? No. Okay, well, Mona is she works for Chrysler, but she's part of the UAW. She's very big with the union, and I call her Norma Ray. And as I look at you and I listen to you, this is what I'm thinking of. So that's why I smiled just now as I was sitting here thinking of you. So Cindy, is there anything that you would like to tell people? Maybe there's something that they don't know about the illegal immigrants and the reform bill, or something that you just need to tell people. Look in that camera, and just again share with people your heart about what you would like to see happen with the immigration bill.
What we would like for everyone to step forward, call your congressman, call your senators, write to your president, tell them we need immigration reform. Families need to stop being torn apart, stop living in fear, whether it's the Asians, it's the Latinos, it's the Africans. People need to come together. Even the Arab Americans are being affected. And you have to think about the children. The children are the number one aspect. How can you come home and tell a child, your father and mother, they were picked up today? Who are they going to be left with? You have to realize they're going to be put into a system that they know nothing about. They're going to be placed in homes they know nothing about because they are here. They are American citizens. They do not need to be treated the way that they're being treated, which is unfairly, like mine and my own. We have to take them to go see a psychiatrist to try to explain to them the whole situation of what's going on. Here we try to say, oh, deadbeat dads, deadbeat mothers. Well, hello, these parents are here for their children. Let's support these people and keep these families here instead of putting these children into a system. The government already does not need to spend any more money on these children when their parents are here to fight for them, give them a better life. Let them be here to stay, like my husband. He does not need to go to Mexico, a home that he does not know. All of his family is here. There's nobody for him. Instead of me feeding the homeless here in Southwest Detroit, I'll be feeding him because he will be homeless in Mexico. There is no family down there. And it's rough to send people down there who, some of them who were born here do not know the language of going back down there. So if I pick up and take my children down there, they have health issues, which Mexico cannot contend with. I have issues Mexico cannot contend with. So why am I going to endanger the children to take them to a foreign country that they know nothing about? Think about the children. If anything, go home, hug your child, tell them, I love you, because at any given moment, any family member of yours can be next for any issue. It may be a racial issue. It may be an economic issue. Think about that. Your house can be taken. Where are you going to live with your children?
Exactly. I really thank you for that. And then you brought up the fact that you guys feed the homeless in Southwest Detroit. You have the Garden, is the Garden of Hope,
yes,
that you Elizabeth started. Karen Robick, she was
yes,
on the show with me as well. So you guys are doing an awesome job. There's so much that you're doing here, yet you're fighting. You're still fighting, but you didn't give up hope for the people that are still here that need you. But you stay in the fight, and you're doing that for everybody. And for that, again, I commend you. I thank you. I thank you for bringing this to my attention. I thank you for coming on the show, sitting with me, sharing with me, sharing your heart, because I know that this is not an easy task for you, but I definitely know that God has a day for everybody. You understand? I believe when I listen to the President of the United States of America as he talks, the immigration system is fragmented. We need some help. We need to get it corrected. There are a lot of things that are going on right now that's broken. And again, we have one voice and one vote. We have to stand up together, lock arms, because it could be a racial issue. You're a people of color, I'm a people of color,
right,
and discrimination it's discrimination. There's an equal opportunity employer. You understand? It does not care. So I'm in the fight with you. If there's anything I could do, you have my contact information. Definitely, call me, let me know. I'll post anything that I can on the Barbara Dean Franklin Show. I'll write a letter. I'll make a call. I love to talk. So,
thank you. Like I said, thank you for having me on, for giving me the opportunity to explain about immigration reform, and how it affects the children and the families.
I thank you. I'm going to end my show, as I always do, thanking the people that tune in and watch the Barbara Dean Franklin Show, Real Talk, Real People. I hope that we bring you something that will make you think, that will make you research, that will make you make a change in your home, your neighborhood, your community. People need you. They need your voice. They need your vote. So thank you again for tuning in, for watching. End the show as I always do, from my beating heart to your beating heart. I love you. You understand? Okay.